For 4 years, the people of Flitwick fought to stop this. They submitted nearly 5,500 objections. Their council voted to refuse it, and they still lost. This is what that defeat looks like from above. Before we talk about what is being built here, we need to understand what is next to it. This is Flitwick Wood. It covers just over 14 hectares, roughly 35 acres, on the northwestern edge of Flitwick town. From above, it looks timeless, and in many ways, it is. This woodland has been recorded continuously for over 400 years. That single fact earns it the designation of ancient semi-natural woodland, one of the most significant ecological classifications in England. You cannot create ancient woodland. Once it is gone, it is gone. But Flitwick Wood is not simply old, it is extraordinary in what it contains. Growing here is Bedfordshire's champion field maple, the largest recorded specimen of its species in the entire county. 4 of the tallest wild cherry trees in Bedfordshire stand here, reaching 22 metres into the sky. The English oaks range from 30 to 300 years old. Some have trunk diameters of 2.5 metres. They were saplings when Shakespeare was alive. The ground beneath them tells its own story. In spring, the floor of this wood is carpeted in bluebells and wild garlic, ancient woodland indicator species that take centuries to colonise a site. Their presence here is itself evidence of how long this woodland has stood undisturbed. The history goes deeper still. This land was once part of a medieval deer park. Oak beams cut from these trees were sold and became part of Ely Cathedral. The wood was managed for centuries by Flitwick Manor. Its accounts record coppicing for firewood and hazel for hedge-laying stakes. It has served this community, in one form or another, for generations beyond counting. Central Bedfordshire Council manages the public section of the wood today. It receives an estimated 43,000 visits every year, the vast majority on foot from the surrounding streets of Flitwick, and it is 50 metres from where those diggers are now working. The site is 22 acres of what was, until very recently, productive arable farmland, Grade 2 agricultural land, among the most productive classifications in England. It sits on the western edge of Flitwick, bordered by Steppingley Road to the northeast, open countryside to the northwest, and the John Bunyan Trail, a public right-of-way, running along its southeastern boundary, linking it directly to Flitwick Wood. In the distance to the southwest, you can see the village of Steppingley. One of the concerns raised throughout this planning process was coalescence, the gradual merging of Flitwick and Steppingley into a single urban sprawl with no meaningful gap between them. Opponents argued this development would bring that moment significantly closer. The site has been allocated for housing since it was included in Central Bedfordshire's local plan, the strategic document that shapes development across the area through to 2035. Under that plan, the site was given a reference HAS 17, an estimated capacity of 216 homes, 40 dwellings per hectare. But there is a detail buried in that allocation that would become one of the most charged arguments in the years of debate that followed. The homes on this site were designated, in part, to meet the housing needs of Luton Borough, not Flitwick's own local demand. Greensand Ridge farmland next to an ancient woodland earmarked to solve someone else's numbers. Persimmon Homes first approached Central Bedfordshire Council in pre-application discussions in October 2021. What followed was an unusually long and heavily contested journey through the planning system. Over the next year, the scheme was revised on 8 separate occasions. The original proposed capacity of over 200 homes was reduced. Landscape buffers were added, affordable housing commitments were confirmed, a pledge to plant more than 4,000 new trees was made. Persimmon offered to prioritise 50% of market homes for local buyers during an initial 3-month sales period. The formal application landed in October 2022. 200 homes, the community responded. 5,497 people submitted formal objections. Local councillors confirmed it was the highest number of objections ever recorded by Central Bedfordshire Council for any single planning application. Flitwick's electorate is around 10,500 people. More than 1 in every 2 registered voters said no. The objections covered traffic. Steppingley Road already carries over 20,000 vehicles a week. The loss of best quality agricultural land. The pressure on GP surgeries, primary schools, and the already congested Flitwick Station car park. The risk to Flitwick Wood. The question of why Flitwick should build homes for Luton. The application was revised further. By the time it came before the Development Management Committee in June 2025, the scheme stood at 170 homes. Central Bedfordshire's own planning officers recommended approval. The committee voted to refuse it. The grounds were impact on Flitwick Wood, cumulative harm to the local transport network, damage to the open landscape, and harm to the Greensand Ridge National Character Area. In an unusual move, elected councillors went directly against their own officers' recommendation, a reflection of how seriously the community had made its feelings known. Conservative Flitwick councillor Ian Adams said at the time that there was, and I am quoting him directly, a real sense of connection with Flitwick Wood in the town. Mid-Bedfordshire MP Blake Stevenson warned the development would seriously negatively impact the people of Flitwick and Steppingley. But under English planning law, a refused application does not end the story. Persimmon appealed. Stand at the corner of this site and look south. 50 metres. That is the distance between the boundary of this development and the nearest entrance to Flitwick Wood. The path you can see here is the John Bunyan Trail, a public bridleway that runs along the entire southeastern edge of the site and connects directly into the woodland. When the homes here are built and occupied, this will be the route that hundreds of new residents walk every day to reach the trees beyond, and that matters enormously because Flitwick Wood is already struggling. Central Bedfordshire Council's own ecology team produced a formal mitigation plan in 2024 assessing the impact of this development on the woodland. Their findings were stark. The wood currently receives an estimated 43,000 visits every year, the vast majority on foot. During the COVID lockdowns, when residents were confined to their local area, visitor numbers far exceeded what the woodland could sustainably absorb. Desire lines were created where people walked off the marked paths. Ancient tree roots became exposed through erosion. Ground flora, including those indicator species that took centuries to establish, was damaged. Parts of the wood had to be resurfaced. Some of that damage is still being repaired. The 170 homes here, when occupied, will bring approximately 408 additional people to within 50 metres of that entrance. The council's own ecologist concluded that the woodland's carrying capacity will likely be exceeded further, and that ground flora is likely to be adversely impacted by increased trampling. The mitigation agreed, as part of the planning consent, is a contribution of just under £64,000 to fund a 10-year programme of coppicing and understory management inside the wood, creating denser vegetation that physically discourages visitors from leaving the marked paths. Whether that is enough is a question that the community, the ecologists, and time will answer. There is one more thing about Flitwick Wood that did not make the headlines. The ash trees here suffer from ash dieback, a fungal disease that is spreading through England's woodlands. The council's own report says the trees are not showing resistance and are expected to be gradually lost. An ancient wood, already under visitor pressure, already losing trees to disease, is now about to face its greatest change in local population for decades. Persimmon's appeal was heard over 8 days in January 2026 at Priory House in Shefford, before a government-appointed planning inspector named Glen Rollings. By the time the inquiry opened, Central Bedfordshire Council had made a significant concession. They confirmed they no longer wished to contest 3 of their 4 original grounds for refusal. Only the question of the Section 106 planning obligation, the legal agreement securing community contributions, remained in dispute. That too was resolved before the inquiry concluded. The inspector's findings were clear. He concluded that the development would not cause significant visual harm, that as new planting matured around the woodland boundary, any visual impact on Flitwick Wood would, in his words, become negligible, that the effect on local roads would not be severe, and that the delivery of housing was, in his assessment, essential, given what he described as the absence of an appropriate short-term land supply locally. Planning permission was granted. The Save Steppingley Roadfield campaign, which had fought the development for years, described it as a sad day. Councillor Ian Adams said he felt particularly sad for the members of Flitwick Local Action Group who pushed so hard on this and couldn't have done anything more for the cause. There was a final sting. Persimmon filed an application for costs against Central Bedfordshire Council, a legal mechanism that, if awarded, would require the council, and by extension its taxpayers, to contribute to Persimmon's costs for the appeal. That application is subject to a separate decision. The machinery moved onto the site, and now we are here. This is what Persimmon has planned for this land: 170 homes arranged across 6 distinct character zones, each designed to reflect a different aspect of the local area. Along Steppingley Road itself, formal red brick homes with sash-style windows and Edwardian doors, taking design cues from the existing Riderway development opposite. Behind the frontage, a central green corridor will run the full length of the site from north to south, a pedestrian and cycling route lined with trees, rain gardens and a children's play area. In the northwestern corner, an attenuation pond and wildlife basin designed to manage surface water drainage and create new habitat. Persimmon has committed to planting more than 4,000 trees across the site. On the southeastern edge, the side closest to the John Bunyan Trail and Flitwick Wood, lower density detached homes in a character zone described in the planning documents as the woodland edge. These plots are designed to be the most customisable for buyers, with weatherboarding and render finishes intended to feel rural in character. At the Steppingley Road entrance, a 3-storey apartment block, a landmark building Persimmon says is designed to echo the leisure centre and Redkite Meadows development directly opposite. Of the 170 homes, 30% will be affordable, a mix of affordable rent and shared ownership properties. 10% are designated for older people's housing. 17 plots are set aside as custom build, allowing buyers to commission their own designs. 50% of the market homes will be offered to local buyers first, during an initial 3-month sales period, before being open to the wider market. A community orchard is planned at the main entrance, a public art feature is proposed alongside it, and running through the centre of it all, the green corridor will terminate at the John Bunyan Trail, connecting this new neighbourhood by foot directly to the ancient woodland 50 metres beyond. What you are watching right now is the beginning of a transformation that will take years to complete. The argument about whether it should have happened at all has been resolved by the planning system, on appeal, in Persimmon's favour. The field that Flitwick fought to keep is becoming a neighbourhood. The farmland that fed the land is gone. Whether the ancient woodland 50 metres away can absorb what is coming, that is a question that will not be answered quickly. Above Bedfordshire will return to this site at every significant stage of its construction and beyond, when the first foundations go in, when the first homes are finished, when the first families move in, and in years to come we will show you what this corner of Flitwick looks like when all of this is settled and grown and become, for someone, home. The question of whether the right decision was made here does not have a simple answer. Flitwick needs homes, England needs homes, ancient woodland cannot be replaced. These are all true, simultaneously, and the planning system had to weigh them against each other and choose. This channel will not tell you what to think about that, but we will make sure you can see exactly what happened and what it looks like from above. If you live in Flitwick, or if you have a view on what you have seen today, leave it in the comments. We read everyone. Subscribe to Above Bedfordshire so you don't miss the next visit to this site, and every other corner of a county that is changing faster than most people realise. This is Above Bedfordshire.